turns out there's actually plenty to do here during our 3 days. So we're going to be visiting some art museums, doing some hikes, and then just checking out the landscape. Welcome back to my channel. In this 3-part series, we explored Nuuk, the capital of Greenland. I didn't know much about Greenland before this trip, other than I've always wanted to visit as a kid. I hope this vlog will inspire you to travel to one of the most remote and stunning capitals of the world. We started our trip from Reykjavik and boarded this small plane. This is the closest I'm going to get to the North Pole. Goodbye, Iceland. We had a great week exploring the country, so don't forget to check out those vlogs, which I will leave a link below. At the time of this filming, the only way to get to Greenland by air was via Iceland or Denmark. Perhaps that will change in the future, so do your research to make sure. You can also take cruise ships to Greenland, where they will stop off at other cities. However, since we only had 3 days to spare in our itinerary, we decided to spend it all in Nuuk. One last taste of the Icelandic sense of humor. Why not? I'm going to miss the Icelandic waterfalls. About an hour into the flight, I noticed some of the passengers getting excited and pointing to the views outside the window. Flying over Eastern Greenland was a breathtaking experience. Just look at that landscape. You can see massive icebergs and untouched wilderness from the window. A few hours later, we arrived on the southwestern coast of Greenland, and that's Nuuk below. Wow! We made it! We're here in Greenland. We did it. We're here in Greenland. I can't believe this. This is my childhood dream come true.
And we're freezing our nards off.
Come on, it's not that bad. It's only 6 degrees Celsius, not Fahrenheit. Celsius.
All right, you see all that white stuff over there? Yeah, those are glaciers. And it's summer.
Yeah, middle of summer, and it's like 11:30 p.m. and there's still light out. The chilly air brought me back to reality and reminded us that we still had to pick up our checked luggage and get a taxi to our hotel. Good thing I don't have anything super valuable in my luggage because it's actually cold. That's right, my rolling luggage is cold to the touch. Just tells you how chilly it is outside. We're on the plane. Now we gotta go get a taxi because we're about 3 miles outside of town. But wait, how do we get a taxi? Because I only see 2 flights on the board right now. So yeah, how do you get a taxi here at the Nuuk airport? I'm used to flying into airports where, whether you like it or not, there are drivers soliciting rides. However, we just landed at night in Greenland, so things were different. I tried using the TaxiGut app, but obviously there was a language barrier. Eventually, we were able to get a taxi driver because the airline front desk called for one. Apparently, there are a limited number of drivers who wait around for a flight to arrive, and the experienced travelers on our flight had made a beeline to them. So make sure to make your way outside of the airport instead of doodling around like we did. Our home for the next 3 days here in Nuuk. I usually don't use the hotel room coffee machine or kettle, but since we're still trying to deal with the cold here, we're gonna make ourselves a cup of hot chocolate. And just like in Denmark and Iceland, you can drink the water from the tap. Now we're talking hot chocolate on a summer night here in Nuuk, Greenland. The next morning, we got our bearings together. Our hotel was located by the port and was easily walkable to the central part of Nuuk. Our hotel stay included breakfast, so it was time to load up for our first full day of exploring the city. We were starving because the last real meal we had was an Icelandic hot dog for dinner at the Reykjavik airport. Breakfast was a typical Nordic one with sliced meats, eggs, yogurt, pastries, and a thick slice of crusty bread. As the Danish would say, there's no such thing as bad weather, but bad clothing choices. Here have been my outerwear choices for this trip. So over here, we got my J. Crew sweater. That was for Denmark because it was only like 60 to 70 Fahrenheit. Then over here is my Lululemon jacket. It was good for Iceland, which was like in the high 40s and 50s, perfect for moving around and hiking around in Iceland. And now that we're here in Greenland, where the weather temps are gonna be in the 40s Fahrenheit, I have my lightweight down jacket from Uniqlo. Here is my OOTD. So I have a merino wool beanie. I got a pashmina scarf that I usually wear on the planes because I get cold. I got a cashmere blend sweater, and then my down jacket. And then I just have just like some hiking pants, and I'm just gonna wear my regular running shoes. I don't think I need snow boots here in the summertime. So yeah, this is my summertime in Greenland OOTD. All right, getting ready for our first day here in Nuuk. And since we just arrived last night, we don't need any housekeeping services. So I'm gonna save a piece of Greenland and off we go. First things first, we're gonna walk up to Spar, the supermarket, so that way we can withdraw some cash from the ATM for the bus. We're going to be taking the bus while we're here in Nuuk because that's the only form of public transportation. Unfortunately, they don't take contactless payment, so that's why we have to get cash. Fortunately, the walk to Spar wasn't that far from our hotel and allowed us to take in more views of the port. See a lot of shipping containers here. Oh, and look. It's been appointed by the Royal Danish Crown. And there's one of the public buses. Now going into the central park of Nuuk, as our taxi driver had pointed out to us yesterday. Last night you thought we were going to die of hypothermia. Now how are you feeling?
I feel a lot better. It reminds me of going to Mount Haleakala in Hawaii, where they take you up slowly so that your body can acclimatize to the cold. So now that my body's starting to get a little bit more used to the cold, I have a little bit more cold gear on. It is feeling very nice and refreshing out here in Greenland.
Yeah, and you do look like you're dressed for the cold here, or summertime in Nuuk. So you got your merino wool beanie and your down jacket.
I live in the desert, so this is like a hardcore. 40 degrees is a hardcore winter for me.
Here we go. We made it to Spar, which is a supermarket chain in Europe, and this is where we're going to go to the ATM. We withdrew money in Danish crowns, but we still needed exact change, so time to look around and see how we can break our large bill. Oh wait, it looks like they have my favorite drink, the Fax Condi. Instead, we got this piece of Danish licorice because we needed exact change for the bus. Now back to our walk. Ooh, that looks delicious. Local lunch for 285 crowns. Not sure what's going to be included on the platter, but I do recognize crab and shrimp. There's a tapas bar here, so I guess you can get Spanish tapas here. I'm definitely feeling a lot better walking around, moving around. I'm feeling warm, so don't get too freaked out about coming here in the summertime, even though it feels like winter. That green hut there is a bus stop, which there are plenty of them scattered all over Nuuk. How cute. They have a polar bear holding a grocery basket. Don't worry, there's no risk of running into a polar bear here in Nuuk. According to Reddit, Nuuk is too far south, but if you go up north, apparently, I guess you can see a polar bear or two. Nuuk has many pieces of art displayed in public areas. There's even a small rainbow pathway. Here's the famous sculpture called Amasuit, or a group of seals swimming. How appropriate for Greenland, since seals play an important role in their culture as a source of food and clothing. Our first stop was the Tourist Visitor Center, so we can get some information on where to go in Nuuk, because I have no idea. I didn't do very much planning before coming here, so that was kind of my bad. The combination of the visitor center and the concierge at our hotel is very helpful in planning the rest of our stay here in Nuuk. They both told us to check out the old Colonial Harbor. The old Colonial Harbor is a vibrant piece of Greenland's history, blending colorful traditional architecture with stunning fjord views. It's such a beautiful area, and it really brings Nuuk's history to life with its iconic colorful buildings. At the heart of the harbor stands Hans Egede's house, one of Nuuk's oldest buildings, dating back to 1728. Originally the home of Hans Egede, a Danish-Norwegian missionary credited with establishing Nuuk, the house is a landmark of early colonial Greenland. The Church of Our Savior since 1849. Right now, it looks like it's undergoing some renovation. Hey, after all, it's summertime. It's probably the best time to do some construction. Another angle of the Church of Our Savior. Nearby, the statue of Egede overlooks the city, a prominent reminder of Greenland's complex colonial history and cultural resilience. This harbor area offers visitors a scenic and thought-provoking look at Greenland's past and present. Are you enjoying the view out here, dear?
Yeah, I could stay out here all day. It's really tranquil and pretty.
Yeah, and just think, yesterday when we got off the plane and you were freezing, you thought I was crazy for suggesting this place as a summer vacation destination. There's a statue of Sedna, the goddess of the sea. Sedna is a central figure in Inuit folklore, is believed to rule over the sea and all its creatures, embodying both its bounty and its power. Just a short trek was the Myggedalen's panoramic view. It is one of Nuuk's most breathtaking lookout points, offering sweeping views of the city nestled among vast fjords and rugged mountains. From this vantage point, you can see Nuuk's colorful homes set against a dramatic Arctic landscape, where the city meets pristine wilderness. It's an ideal spot for capturing the beauty of Greenland's natural scenery and observing the unique blend of urban life and untamed surroundings that define Nuuk. Next up is the Nuuk Art Museum. We're taking some sort of back road into it. It's a small but amazing gallery showcasing traditional and modern Greenlandic art. Luckily, it is open today, which is Saturday, but they are only open 1 to 5 today, and they're closed on Mondays. But always check the internet, see what the current hours are. Coming from the US, I still can't get over these open cloakrooms where you can hang up your coat and know it'll still be there at the end of the tour. Part of the Nordic culture of trust. Inside the art museum, you get a taste of Greenlandic culture, such as this chessboard featuring seals as pawns and other significant symbols as the bishops, rook, king, and of course queen. The art museum features a captivating collection of traditional and contemporary Greenlandic art, including paintings, sculptures, and crafts that reflect the Arctic's influence on Greenlandic life and imagination. Highlights include works by Greenlandic artists that depict the landscapes, wildlife, and mythology unique to this northern region, as well as pieces that explore modern life in Nuuk. A little bit of hygge here with this shag blanket. The art museum is surprisingly bigger than what it looks like on the outside, and there's a second floor to it. Overall, not a bad way to escape the cold for an hour or two. The Katuaq Cultural Center is Nuuk's vibrant hub for arts, culture, and community. Known for its stunning architecture inspired by the Northern Lights, the building itself is a work of art with a wave-like facade that glows in different lights. Inside, Katuaq hosts a variety of events, including concert, art exhibitions, film screenings, and local festivals, making it a lively space to experience Greenlandic culture and contemporary arts. The Café is a great spot to relax, grab a bite, and soak in the atmosphere. We got the nut mocha and the snack basket, which consisted of spring roll, breaded halibut, Katuaq golden roll with shrimp, and sweet potato fries. Now that we got some coffee and food into us, we're going to use the public bus system to travel around. We're going to check it out. To take the bus, you have to have exact change. They don't take contactless payment, so it costs 20 crowns. That's why we went to the grocery store earlier this morning to use the ATM machine, and then we bought a piece of licorice to get the change. Each of the stops have numbers and names to them, and you'll be able to figure out which direction they're headed towards. It amazes me that even in the most northern of all lands, Nuuk has a useful public transportation system. You can even take it to the airport depending on the time of your flight. Where are we going? I have no idea. Dang it, what's the name of the stop again? I don't know. We're trying to hike to some lake. There's no clear directions on Google Maps, so we tried doing this using combination of the bus stop and Google Maps. Our hotel reception desk had suggested a short hike to Qallussuaq, which is a hike on a hill above the new neighborhood of Kingerpoot. Good thing we got the compass with us, old-fashioned way here. I guess we're gonna go that way. Well, we already made a mistake. So that road that ends into some residential area. Turns out we were supposed to turn somewhere else. now we're back on track here. So we're going to take this path for about 1 kilometer. This is really off the beaten path, or at least for us on our first day here in Nuuk. We're still on the path. At least now the road is paved, so it'll make it a lot easier to hike over to the lake. Up this rocky terrain we go, and we keep climbing. I didn't realize it was going to be a bit of a climb to the lake here. Couldn't tell from Google Maps. We're still on track. I just didn't realize how high we were climbing up. Are we there? We definitely can't cross through this body of water here. Oh, actually, the road continues this way. Okay, I have no idea what that sign says because it's both in Greenlandic and Danish. This is it. This is supposed to be Circle Lake. At least that's what it says on the map, or on one of the maps.
Unfortunately, it was foggy when we had completed this hike. This led us to feel disoriented because we weren't sure what we were supposed to see.
Back onto the path. We're going to walk a little further to the dropped pin on the map because we didn't quite get there. I thought we did because I saw that body of water, but that's not quite it. It was a part of the lake, but not exactly where the path or this trail ends.
On a clear day, it's supposed to offer incredible views of Nuuk's fjords and the distant cityscape, creating a peaceful contrast between untouched nature and modern life. It's supposed to be a somewhat reasonable hike, as we had bumped into a local at the bottom who said she hikes it all the time.
And we did it. We got to that point on the map. I guess the view here is a little bit more interesting despite the fog. Now, what did you think about the water? How does the water feel?
It's cold as balls.
With the grass and the greenery, this place looks otherworldly, along with the fog. Oh, I had enough of this beautiful view, so we're gonna make our way down because I want to get back in time for dinner. This hike was worth it because take a look at this view. Not too many people will see this in their lifetime.
That's Kingurput, one of the newest districts in Nuuk. This view reminds me of hiking up to Griffith Park in LA and seeing all of LA in its glory.
Oh, finally, we got to something a little bit more normal here than rocks. We got wooden stairs.
By now, we got the hang of how to catch the bus and the numbering system with the stops. This bus ticket reminds me of the one we got in Aarhus and also the metro ticket in Copenhagen.
There you have it. We were able to successfully navigate ourselves using the public bus system. Here's our hotel. So we made it. We didn't get lost. We didn't fall in the water. Overall, a good first day exploring Nuuk. It's 11 p.m. and where is the dark sky? I just can't get over how it's 11 p.m. right now in Greenland and it's still light outside. This feels like 6 o'clock in the evening, but nope, it's not. It's actually 11 p.m.
If you enjoyed our first day in Nuuk, like and subscribe to continue the trip with us.